24/7 on the internet.
All right, so here we are at the finale of Club Barnett, and at first we're talking about Ronnie being in a band that was, by his words, 3/5 lesbians.
That was his words.
Not mine. I mean, that can't be a bad thing.
No.
And what kind of band was this?
This was a Journey cover band.
Don't stop believing, folks.
No, you can't. You can't stop believing when if Ronnie can be in a Journey cover band, anything is possible. And we're going to find that out on this episode of Club Barnett. And we're also going to get into a little bit of his look and his style and his fashion sense, which interesting enough, starts off with the Journey cover band. He really has some unique wardrobe choices there.
Yeah, indeed. I gotta say, I'm glad that we kept this one for the finale, because this was very interesting to me to hear Ronnie's take on the look, and it was something I know you and I both know. We're big, huge Kiss fans, so we both have Kiss stuff in the background, and Ronnie also has a mutual love of Kiss and presentation and performance. So hearing this was very, very interesting to me. I got to say, this is probably my favorite part of our conversation, and I'm glad it's the finale. So a little bit about that, and nothing about Bill Nye the Science Guy. That didn't come up.
You would have thought.
You would have thought, right? You would have thought. But I think there's some talk about bow ties, and maybe Cheap Trick comes up in it, but this is my favorite.
Good stuff. Good fun talk with Ronnie Barnett here in Club Barnett.
Welcome to the club.
I was in a mainly lesbian Journey cover band for I don't know if you guys know that. Yeah.
What was the name of it?
Infinity. I know, not the most imaginative name for a Journey cover band, but we were 3/5 lesbian, and we would sell out Spaceland, and it was really fun for me. Like, I would just wear a kimono and stand in the back and play bass and lift it. Journey songs have a lot of da-da, that kind of stuff.
Big endings and stuff.
Yeah. So I had a blast in that band. I borrowed my friend Chris from Pansy Division's Steinberger bass, which played Steinberger. They play and sound amazing. Like, I know it looks, I'd always say, like, I wish I could use this in my real band, but I couldn't because of the way it looks, but they play great. I love that thing. And I really love, we would do Send Her My Love, and that was fun because just me and the keyboard player doing the verses. Yeah, anyway. So learning, Journey, I never sat down with a Journey record and just learned it note for note. I would I hate to use the word simplify, but I would make them better. I think a lot of Ross Valerie, first off, totally underrated and great bass player. He's got really inventive lines, but I would dumb them down a little bit just for it worked better live. But I was able just to pick that stuff up. I never would write anything down. Occasionally keys or whatever. But yeah, I guess I'm lucky in that respect.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I always notice a lot of the Muffs songs end with strange chords. I couldn't play them.
Yeah,
I don't know what Kim was playing, but I couldn't play them.
Yeah, no, she's got a lot of funny chords in there.
Yeah.
She was I'm glad that she's I don't want to use the word renowned. I'm glad she's appreciated for her guitar playing, as well as her songwriting and singing, of course, and personality and everything. Because there's a lot of funny chords in those songs, and it ain't all bar chords, through a fuzz pedal. So, we played gigs at CBGB's in August where it was 100, sold out, where it's 100 degrees. There's that famous one there's that gig where Roy passes out behind the drums. Like, we go to start a song and Roy's out.
Wow.
Yeah. So but I would go on stage wearing like sweater, button down shirt and t-shirt underneath. Even in summer. So I always wore sweaters. The bow tie thing happened because I became a member of the Magic Castle, so I was wearing suits, and I started wearing a bow tie with my suit, and I was like, I'm going to do this on stage. So that really came about like right around Whoop-De-Doo era, and I it's funny that people think that I did it like our whole career. I did. Actually, the first album tour, and I've replaced it at this point, guys, but I had one of the Cheap Trick bow ties, and I would wear that. I wore that on our 93 tour and like fucked it up, and but yeah, I did that bow tie thing for probably about 3 years, and then I let it go. I remember throwing out my final bow tie in Spain. And I just went to just this with the sweater, back to that.
See, I always thought the bow tie was a nod to Rick Nielsen.
No, look, my whole stage persona is basically a nod to Rick Nielsen. I figured that out. The whole wandering around on stage and the whole looking at things and the whole. I flicked out picks for a while, which is hard to do as a bass player because there's not a lot of breaks you can take.
Right.
I got good at it too. I could still hit across the room, flicking a pick out. We opened for Cheap Trick a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
I got to say, at sound check, Rick flicked out picks. No audience. I wouldn't pick them up off the floor afterwards.
Yeah.
So he just does that. And those shows, I mean, Cheap Trick is everything to me. They're my favorite band of all time. At this point, always will be. But when we played with them, his staircase would be on my side of the stage, and I didn't fuck with it. Like I didn't spit on stage when we opened for Cheap Trick. You know what I mean? I was, I didn't mess with their stuff. Not that I did with other bands, but you know what I mean? So yeah, Rick Nielsen, huge influence on me. Looks wise, the kind of nerdy guy that's an animal, I did different stuff with it. Obviously I was a punkier version or whatever, but yeah, Rick Nielsen, I mean, nothing hotter than Cheap Trick live and 70. When I saw them in 79, I was 14. I've never been more excited to see a show. I was just counting down the days, and they did not disappoint. This is like right after Budokan got big. So they were headlining the 8,000 seater, old arena, and like, man, so great. And then we ended up being label mates with them for a while on Warner Brothers. I remember wandering into I was good friends with our A&R guy, Dave Katznelson. I remember coming back from lunch, we'd go in his office, which is right next to Ted Templeman's office. And I see these two guys, and one's got a hat on and one didn't. And I went in Dave's office, and Dave stays out there talking. I went and looked, and I'm like, holy shit, that's Rick Nielsen and Tom Peterson. Like I hadn't seen the beard look yet. I hadn't seen Rick's beard look, and I didn't recognize him, and I freaked out. And yeah, so.
My first time seeing them was 77 when they opened for Kiss. And then the last time I saw them was right before the pandemic. They played out in Temecula.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, they played at Pachanga. And you know what? That's a band that got better and better and better with time. And all the enthusiasm, everything. Yeah. They had high energy the whole show. For guys who've been doing it for so many years.
No, and they work hard. I mean, they play the Southern California like 3 times a year. I mean, I'm talking before the pandemic, but I mean, those guys work hard. I mean, they'll play the Casino Pachanga, and then they'll do the tour opening for Def Leppard, and then they'll do a free show in the park somewhere. I mean, those guys, their work ethic is incredible. And like you say, they have that sound. I mean, there's something about people and that sound. Like if me or you picked up Rick Nielsen and Tom Peterson's instruments, we're not going to sound like Cheap Trick, Yeah. But there's something about that, just flesh and wood and your feel and approach that makes you sound like you sound. And it's a shame that Bunny E's not in. Because Bunny Carlos is a huge part of the sound.
Right.
Bunny Carlos is like, I don't know if you guys like pay attention, but he like switches up right and left, like. He'll just play left for a long time for a while just because he can. Like he switches art. It's unbelievable in his roles and everything. He's like, drummers don't get a lot of credit unless people notice Keith Moon because he plays a bunch of
he's all over the place.
Stuff. Yeah. Exactly. But like, that band is just perfect, and just I'm sorry that they can't work it out personally, but
yeah,
you know,
okay.
and that happens.
But it's better than breaking up. He's still got royalties and all that other good stuff coming in.
No, I know
that part of it.
Like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he played with him, and it's just it sounds like Cheap Trick.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense, Dax does a fine job, and
Sure.
he's in the family, and
right.
And whatever, they still play. I mean, Robin's voice still intact. It's a wonder of the world. Like, his fashion sense leaves a little
very strange. Yeah. That's okay. He makes up for it with his voice.
I know. It's just, you don't have to look hip at this point. We love you, Robin Zander.
What else you got, Jeff? Anything?
No, I just got a notification that my phone's getting ready to die.
All right.
Well, let's wrap this up, and then we will try to do it again, and we'll get some more information out of Ronnie. We'll just keep on digging it out of him, and then I'll see what I can do with this here.
Yeah, it's good. You're prompting me to other stories and stuff. This is good.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm a talker, so as you know.
No.
Yeah.
Stories.
All right, you guys. Well, I appreciate it, and I'll stay in touch.
I appreciate it, you guys.
Let you know what we got going.
Absolutely. You know where to find me, both of you.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk to you later now.
Okay.
All right, you guys. Take care.
Bye. Yeah, you too. Okay. Bye.
Turn away now.
The pain, the pleasure from a generation of fine rock and music. Ladies and gentlemen, the Muffs.
Sorry. All right, now I'm really warmed up.